Hopefully he's going to be there for a long time. Dangerous person.
As new details surface on the second assassination attempt on his life. Embattled artist Sean Diddy Combs in jail. The federal indictment against him following dozens of sexual assault allegations.
He's going to be there for a long time. Dangerous person.
As new details surface on the second assassination attempt on his life. And the new embattled artist, elderly residents who lost everything in an apartment building fire.
He paid child support. Then his son turned 18.
And everyone I've talked to said it should have stopped, at least within a month or so of him turning 18.
Is everybody right? Does child support stop when your son or daughter turns 18? It depends on what is coming up, and help me, Howard.
Good morning, South Florida. Happy Tuesday. I'm Alex DeArmas.
And I'm Tavares Jones. Today in Florida at 10 starts now.
This is 7 News Today in Florida.
Here's a live view of downtown Fort Lauderdale on this Tuesday morning. Thanks for starting our day with us. We see those clouds out there.
You know what that means. Let's get your check of the forecast. Meteorologist Erica Delgado in the Plex with the first look for us. Hey, Erica, good morning.
Hey, Tavares, Alex. Unfortunately, it looks like South Florida is still stuck with the same stormy setup that we've been seeing for well over a week right now. And the reason for that is there is a stalled front to the north of us, and South Florida remains on the unsettled times side of that front. So we'll still see a good chance for rain, and there's plenty of moisture for that rain to develop later today. Talking about our live radar, we've been looking quite wet this morning with a few thunderstorms, mostly some light rain steady across our mainland areas. Fort Lauderdale, Broward County are looking better. Most of Miami-Dade as well, but still some steady light rain from areas like Homestead, the Redland, all the way through Florida City, areas southward along Cardstown Road, all the way into the Upper Keys. And speaking of the Florida Keys, we do have some heavier rain with some thunderstorms sitting just to the southwest of Key West and the Lower Keys, and all that, as you can see, is moving the general flow from west to east. So as far as your forecast on this Tuesday is concerned, I think the wettest times were earlier this morning. We could still see a few isolated storms later this afternoon, with temperatures reaching into lower 90s. So we'll go from stormy to still feeling quite steamy later this afternoon. The question is, when will it all end? We'll have the answer coming up in a few minutes.
Developing right now, these are live images from New York, a federal court there where embattled music mogul Sean Diddy Combs is expected to appear any moment now after being charged with sex trafficking and racketeering. The singer was arrested by federal agents last night after a grand jury indictment. 7's Maricela Burgos is live at the Satellite Center with what we know about these charges. Maricela.
Good morning, Alex. Before walking into federal court, Sean Diddy Combs' attorney told reporters he expected those charges against him. That was before he and Diddy even saw the indictment. Diddy is in court right now. We should be learning more about this case soon. Now, Combs was arrested late last night in his Manhattan hotel. His attorney says he relocated to New York anticipating today would happen and that he would be facing serious charges. Diddy has been tied up in some trouble recently. We know there are 10 lawsuits against him. 9 of them accuse him of sexual assault. We publicly know one of his exes who settled a lawsuit against him, which referenced surveillance video that shows Diddy beating, kicking, and dragging her. You may also remember video of this when Homeland Security agents took over his homes in Los Angeles and Miami. A sex trafficking investigation led those agents to those homes in late March. Diddy's attorney says they have been expecting charges since those searches of his homes. He says his client is cooperating. He also says he voluntarily moved to NYC to begin this case.
He's going to plead not guilty, obviously. He's going to fight this with all of his energy and all of his might and the full confidence of his lawyers. And I expect a long battle with a good result for Mr. Combs.
Diddy's attorney says they expect he will be arraigned today. He doesn't know at what time that will happen. We are waiting for more details about those charges against him. In the Satellite Center, Maricela Burgos, today in Florida.
Now at 10, former President Donald Trump speaking publicly about the alleged second assassination attempt on his life. It took place over the weekend.
And this morning, we're learning more about the man accused of the plot as the Florida governor now launches a statewide criminal probe. Let's get right to 7's Alex Browning, live in Palm Beach this morning, where the governor just spoke. Alex.
And Tavares, the governor, says this is all about transparency and holding that alleged wannabe assassin to the fullest extent of the law.
The suspect, Ryan Routh, is believed to have committed state law violations across multiple judicial circuits in the state. Palm Beach Judicial Circuit, the Judicial Circuit including Martin County, as well as perhaps the Judicial Circuit represented by Broward County. Also, the state of Florida has jurisdiction over the most serious straightforward offense.
But it's like he's trying to run a one-man band out there. Behind his seat. And leave comments below. This is a make or break season for you. He's got to make an impact. Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the Brandon Mason Show. Well, I think all of us can agree that this morning is very interesting for a lot of reasons. I got my coffee here as I always do, man. I'm sipping this. I'm going, what is going on in the world? And this is probably a long time coming for a lot of people. Obviously, Diddy yesterday arrested, anticipated some of this stuff, moved to New York. His attorney had mentioned he moved to New York anticipating actually being arrested, and then this happened yesterday. People that are actually yesterday I was in a live stream talking, and someone comes in and goes, P Diddy was just arrested in Manhattan, and I'm like, whoa, okay. We've been waiting on this for a long time because we know obviously a lot has transpired. Today we're going to go into obviously them raiding his house. We're going to go into a lot of information that went on, his family, things that are going on with Cassie. A lot of things. Are some of the celebrities now panicking? Are some of the celebrities panicking a little bit like, okay, what is he going to say? What are people going to do? And a lot of people that were out there partying with Diddy, there was a lot of questions to be answered. I think a lot of people now, I will tell you this, a lot of people now that are waiting around to see what Diddy's going to say. I think there's a lot of evidence that they took from those raids. We're going to go into that in a second. And I think Diddy in general has a lot to get off his chest. And I got to tell you right now, when you're pushed up against the wall or your back's up against the wall, things are going to start flying. People are going to start talking. Things are going to start happening. But P Diddy yesterday has been arrested in a Manhattan hotel. And now people want to know, what's the next step? Now, he's actually getting ready to step into court right now. As we're talking right now, as soon as we get off the live, there's going to be some updates on this, and we'll bring it to you. But let me tell you something right now. Yesterday, I said, let me get my thoughts together. And a lot of people get on and say, oh, P. Diddy was this, he was that. And look, rightfully so, he probably was a lot of things that we're going to talk about today. But more importantly, the people that were joining him on some of these parties, some of these freak-offs, some of these craziness that he was doing, came there for a purpose, came there for a reason. Some people not, right? We're going to talk about that right now. Some people were drugged into certain things. Some people did certain things. Some people were looking for certain things. And that's why right now the conversation has to get bigger and better for Diddy when he gets out there right now and has these conversations. Because right now, when I'm pulling up some of these right now, I got some pictures here. I got to talk with you. But P. Diddy, wow. This is a rap mogul. This is people, they went to him for things. Obviously, he had a lot of power, money, respect. He had power. He had all that. He had everything at the fingertips, being able to do whatever he wanted to do, bringing people in. We're going to go into it in a second. You got people like Justin Bieber, people like Usher, people like Meek Mill, a lot of other people coming in for a lot of reasons, looking for a lot of things. But here's what I'm going to go into right now. This is important. Why was Diddy's house raided to begin with? That was where we got to start right now. Why was the house raided to begin with? And you know, Los Angeles, Miami, they were looking for all his properties, taking all his possessions, taking computers, taking laptops, taking a lot of things. In the chat right now, why do you think they were raiding Diddy's house? What were they looking for in Diddy's house? What did they find in Diddy's house? These are some of the things right now that we're talking about on the live stream because, look, we got to be honest here. When you raid houses like this and you leave with laptops and tablets and cell phones and cameras and all this kind of footage, he's had parties at his houses. And again, I pulled this back. He's had some parties at his houses that people will never forget, right? Some celebrities have been there. You got guys, girls, you call it ladies if you want, men, whatever. A lot of people were enjoying these parties for a lot of reasons. And now all of a sudden, I had this conversation several times yesterday and today, some of these parties are great until they're no longer great. And Diddy was out there trying to create good times for people, maybe, on one hand. And on another hand, maybe he was doing a little bit too much, right? And I'm saying it in a way where I don't say, put the man, say that he's guilty. We can all agree that something is not right, right? We can all agree something is not right. But Diddy was having these wild parties, right? And I got a picture right here. Look at this picture right here of them coming in the house. They didn't just show up and bring a couple cops. I mean, they raided this thing. They were bringing like armored vehicles and massive tanks. And I mean, they showed up to Diddy's house, and this was on national TV. They had all this thing. I mean, you can see this everywhere. Diddy was not, having a good time at this position, right? They were raiding his house, taking all his items and stuff. The minute they took all those items, I'm telling you right now, a lot of celebrities were like, okay, what were you doing over there? And all these people that we're talking about as parties on all different types of platforms. We're talking NBA players, NFL players, singers, a lot of different artists, people that were enjoying their times with Diddy were like talking about it on several platforms all the time, talking about having such a blast with Diddy, going to his parties, trying to enjoy some of this. And rightfully so, if someone said, yo, come to P Diddy's party, and you're not thinking anything of it, most people will go to that party too. I mean, think about it. Come to P Diddy's party, shake hands with some people, some high status people, a lot of celebrities. All the guys are going there, beautiful women out there. And rightfully, the girls were coming looking for men. All this was going on. Was this part of his plan to begin with to make some of these things, some of the things that he did? Now, the charges, we're talking, they're doing sex trafficking and racketeering. And this is not little conversation. This is conversation where if this is evidence of racketeering and sex trafficking and all this kind of, this is a massive, massive deal. And this isn't new. This didn't just happen yesterday. People didn't just start talking about this yesterday. This wasn't like, hey, this has been going on and on to the point where people are like, maybe Diddy beat the system. Like, that's what we started to get to. Like, maybe Diddy beat the system. But then it's like this. Is Diddy dealing with a state or federal case right now, right? Is he dealing with a state or federal case? If he was in Florida or living in Los Angeles, or living who was at, and they said, look, it's a federal case, a state case, he would have stayed right there and handled that. He moved to New York. You got to understand this right now. He moved to New York. His attorney said he moved to New York to handle this case, which means you fly to New York for court. You fly somewhere for court and go home. When you move somewhere, this is planning on being a long process, drawn out process with tons of evidence, with camera footage. And we're talking, listen, we're not just talking regular conversation here. We're talking computers. We're talking different types of laptops and stuff. We're talking cell phones. We're talking about footage. There's a lot going on here. And I think people that are watching this right now and are pulling it up are going, yeah, he's guilty. But there's a lot that has to transpire right now. There's a lot that has to transpire. He's going to get to prove his case. His attorney got up there and said, no. We think, and we're going to get to this in a second with Cassie. I want to show you this picture right here for a second. We're going to get into that piece with the pie with Cassie right there. But let me tell you right now, a lot of people that are saying he's guilty, and his attorney said, a lot of attorneys will say this, but they're saying he's innocent. Watch what happens. Watch and see. He's going to have to tell stories in court. Like if some wild things happen that shouldn't have been happening, he's going to have to tell some serious stories on a lot of people, because the only way, if he doesn't tell on anybody, there's some problems. We're going to get into the prison sentence in a minute on what it looks like. But he's going to have a lot of complications if they throw all the bullseye on him and it's all about Diddy and all these problems. And I got to pull up right now some conversation that we got to have right now. I think this is so important. But this is a definite federal case. When you're talking racketeering, and you're talking sex trafficking, you're not talking about being in LA or being in Florida. You're talking about a federal case that he moved, packed his shit, and moved to New York to go to court. And this was going to be drawn out. Everybody coming to the live stream this morning, good morning to you. Hit that like button and leave a message right now in the live stream. Is Diddy doing a long prison sentence? Yes or no? In the chat, let us know. And I'll tell you this, if you're watching this after the show and you don't watch it live, I'm telling you right now, we're bringing the updates. He's in court right now. This is going to be a massive federal case. If you're just joining us right now and you don't know what I'm talking about, a state case is when it's something you could deal with in that state. This is federal. We just heard his attorney talk on TV. They said it's a sex trafficking, that's a sex trafficking deal and a racketeering deal. And at the end of the day, who was with him? Who was helping him with this stuff? Who was he traveling with? Who was going? Who are the celebrities involved? And so right now, let's get right to this piece I want to talk about right now. Did the Cassie video draw the most attention to him? did the Cassie video draw the most attention to Diddy where people were like, nah, we got to look into this? Like, because here's why. I know there's other things going on, but did the Cassie video bring all this attention? Because the minute you saw that video, and I got some pictures here that I got to pull up. But when you saw this video footage and you saw this happening right here, I'm going to pull, when you saw this, and just for the reasoning of people on the videos, if you show the video, they make you have to click on something so you can't see it. This is the kind of thing, like, look how Diddy is in the hallway. And this is something that no woman should ever have to fear, and no man should ever have to fear, to be honest. It's 2024. We got to say it like that. But look at this right now. Look how she's on the ground, right? And she's literally like she's in a fetal position. And then this is the kind of thing. This picture here and this video of him doing this kind of damage to her on the ground, you know, getting up there, whether you're kicking her, pushing her, slapping her. When this video surfaced of him and Cassie, this was where it was like, all right, we got to draw the line. This is where the line started to get drawn out. And I'm telling you right now, people that saw that video were like, yeah, he's got to go just off that video. We're not even talking about all the other shit that happened. We're not even talking about the other shit that they're going to pull up. We're not talking about the surveillance video at his house. We're not talking about the cameras. We're not talking about the computers. We're talking about right now just the video and just the pictures. And I'm saying I just showed the pictures here because if I showed the actual video of him doing the damage, then YouTube makes you have to, click on something that makes you be able to watch it. And you know how YouTube's cheating our channel right now because we are calling a spade right now. We're doing it and letting people know the truth and the real deal and showing on this platform. We are completely unbiased and we give it to you the truth. And so we don't want to be any more freaking censored than we already are. But we're looking at this right now. And this video of Cassie and Diddy, they had a lot of opportunities. Obviously, making a lot of money was important to her and important to him. Maybe she absolutely loved him unequivocally. Maybe she was looking for money too. Whatever the case may be, they were living the high life for a while. He was living the high life for a long time. All these people joining him were living the high life for a very long time. And then you go, okay, this video started getting things to surface more and more and more. And then it was, okay, Justin Bieber was there. And then it was, okay, how was he handling Justin Bieber? Justin Bieber was so young. Then there was conversation about what he may have did or didn't do with Justin Bieber. And then it was Usher in the building, right? And it was like Usher was so young. And then was he helping Usher? Was he helping Justin Bieber? What was the situation? Was he really trying to be helpful? What was he doing, right? And then now Usher grows up a little bit. And you go, hey, Usher, what was going on here? Now, people are kind of speaking out, right? People are talking about some things. People are starting to have a lot more conversation down into like, hey, what was really going on when you were younger? Trying to speak about that, trying to get it to surface. Now, here's the problem I got. There's a lot of people out there that are going to say a lot of things about Diddy, and probably a lot of it's true. Maybe some of it's not true. But there was a lot of people out there going for these parties. And there was a lot of people out there that loved the parties until they were like, we don't want this party. And we realized what we did in XYZ. And they said, we got to talk about this. And I'm not saying that what he did was right in any way, shape, or form. Excuse me. I'm not sitting up here saying, listen, he did all the right things. I'm not saying that the man is innocent. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying, we have to understand something. A lot of people were chasing him for the party. They wanted the party. I'm not talking about the people getting drugged. I'm not talking about the people putting stuff in drinks. I'm not talking about some of those problems that came up. I'm talking about the people that came there for the party life, that wanted to get it going, wanted to enjoy some of that, and they got some of that. And there's a lot of celebrities out there now that are a little bit worried. And that moves us to some of the next pieces of pie here. But how much prison time are we talking for Diddy right now? In the live stream right now, how much prison time, if he's convicted of this, because this is still happening, he got arrested, all the indictments, all this stuff is coming out right now, and today he's in court. Will he be arrested? How long will he go to prison? They said he moved there for this. If you moved there for that, that looks like you're planning to fight something for a long time with his attorney and other officials. So in the chat right now, in the live stream, how long will Diddy get prison time if he gets arrested? I want to know what you guys think right now. How long and how much prison time is P Diddy facing right now? We talking 1 year, we talking 5 years, we talking 10 years, we talking 20 years, we talking life in prison. We're talking some of these allegations that are coming out could be multiple sentences of 10 years, 10 years, 10 years, 1 to 20. Like there's a lot of quote unquote issues that we gotta look. I hate to put a cart before the horse, but a lot of this stuff is happening right now. And this is the part that I think is very interesting now that I want you guys to understand. Celebrities panic after Diddy's arrest. There's a lot of celebrities out there that were enjoying those parties. There's a lot of celebrities out there in the music industry. There's a lot of celebrities out there, like I was saying, in the basketball world, in the NBA, in the NFL, wherever they were at playing. I'm not calling them out individually. I'm just giving you an example. A lot of big name people out there in the world that are partying with Diddy and maybe going for a great cause, maybe going to have a good time. Probably most people, to be honest, most people going to Diddy's house are probably going for a good time. Like it wasn't like they were all going there just to, have some kind of, drug issue with sex trafficking. A lot of them were probably going for a good time at a party. And now you have people, and again, this is just allegations. This isn't me saying this. I'm pulling some pictures up right now. And this isn't me saying that this is true. This is me just going over an example of some of these celebrities, like Ellen here, who obviously had a lot of conversations with Diddy, wanted to spend some time, having a good time, having some parties, doing some things. We got Meek Mill in the building too right now in conversation. But when I look at the overall picture and I look at what transpires around celebrities and around celebrities and also around what he was actually doing, a lot of people are like, wait a second, I don't know, I don't really understand that. And I think someone just got hidden there. We have to unhide them. Whoever just got hidden there in the live stream, Devon Flowers got hidden. We need to unhide Devon Flowers, please. What I'm saying right now in conversation is a lot of these celebrities were out there doing a lot of things. And they may or may not have known it was going that direction. And that's why I'm showing this right now. Maybe they do. Maybe they do. But a lot of these people, even like Meek Mill, right? Or a lot of these people wanted to be a part of his platform. Get out there. And there was a financial obligation. There was a financial ability to earn through being around P Diddy. There was a financial opportunity to be around, what he could bring to the table. There was the ability for them to prosper financially, the ability to be able to jump on the scene immediately and have all of these wonderful things immediately. The problem is the drugging and the sex trafficking and all these things that were happening behind the scenes and the racketeering. If these charges are true and this man gets indicted on this and gets arrested and goes to jail for a long time, there's no way, shape, or form this man was doing this by himself. There's a lot of celebrities out there that I just put on. There's a lot of celebrities out there that were very close with P. Diddy. And all I'm saying is, when you put yourself in this position, you're going to see a lot of people that possibly could be going down the tubes along with Diddy. And that a lot of this stuff's going to start coming out with his attorneys and all that. Hasn't been announced yet, but it will. But what I will tell you this, the hardest part watching P. Diddy, the hardest part watching this is this man had everything at his fingertips. Everything to be able to enjoy, everything to be able to go out and really, really have no worries. Like literally have fun, buy whatever you want, drive around whatever car you want, buy whatever house you want, have parties you want. And to drug people when all these, if this is true, all these women that he could potentially hang out with, there's a lot of willing women out there, like willing women, beautiful, willing women out there. So if the drug thing is going on, it's like, okay, this is a massive issue, a massive problem. And then with the racketeering and the sex trafficking, this is the part of our world right now that is out of control. Like sex trafficking, when you think about it, like my wife takes a kid to school or goes in a golf cart and goes to the park. We had a Apple tag on our golf cart that someone placed on there. We couldn't figure out where the tag came from. Like who placed the tag there? Like who's watching your golf cart ride around the area? Then you start to get worried, right? Like they can find you at any given time. Somebody who's tracking you, watch you in the mornings, doing all this. So what I'm saying is our world already, without some of this stuff going on, is a very scary situation. It's a very scary place. And I think people that are actually out there that are enjoying these parties, that are going all these places, I think some of them came for the party and some of them weren't expecting this. But the big time party, what I want to leave you guys with today, and why I had to get on here, I wanted to get on here yesterday. We had the game going and all that. And I do believe there's no room for this. In no way, shape, or form is there room for this. And there's no room, obviously, for what I just pulled up about Cassie and what you saw, because their relationship started out like, okay, she was saying, I want to enjoy, I want to get into music, I want to do X, Y, Z, and Diddy can help her, and she was great, or she was a great musician, all this, whatever. And then you get to this in the hallway. No way, shape, or form should any woman or any man, for lack of that matter, be treated in this situation. I would show the video. I have a full video of this, but then YouTube causes us even more problems, But at the end of the day, this is what I truly believe. That video, and she spoke out about it, and then there was a whole lawsuit. Then she got, a settlement through financial thing. The problem is, a lot of these things get settled through financial gain. Like, hey, look, we know this happened. We're going to throw you like $500,000. We're going to throw you $1 million and it goes away, because now people are like, $1 million. Like, people are happy with some of the financial stuff. That's why some of this stuff gets swept under the rug. Like, it gets swept under the rug. If someone doesn't have any money, they're in trouble right now. And that's the problem right now in this situation. This is probably arguably the biggest story of the year. This is arguably going to be the biggest story going on in the media, going on in the year. It's bigger than most things, because this is something where the world and the U.S. right now, but the world has to look at, how do we identify this? How do you move forward with someone like this? R. Kelly was one of those people that it was like, whoa, R. Kelly, all this music he made, people loved it. Then Diddy had all this music. What a hip hop and rap mogul, and just a music, someone who could be in all kinds of music everywhere. When Diddy showed up, people were like, it's a party. And they loved what he brought to the table from a music standpoint. And let me tell you something. Those parties were packed all the time. It wasn't like he had a party and people were like, I'm not going to that party anymore. People were going to those parties consistently because they were enjoying themselves. And I think the problem is, Diddy started feeling the power of his money and the respect that he was getting. And then when you cross that line, and then you keep crossing that line and you continuously do that, there's a massive ordeal and there's a massive problem that will not be settled. And a lot of those families and those people watching, it's in the media now. In this video that surfaced with Cassie, they're going to make an example out of him. The question comes down to, what other celebrities are going to be going down? Like, what other celebrities are going down the tubes with Diddy right now? He's not going to go down the tubes and be like, it was just me by myself. There's going to be a lot of people out there, a lot of artists going out there. And I just used Ellen as a picture just because, there was some quote unquote, she wanted to go to some parties. And it wasn't just her. I'm not putting her on blast. I'm not saying Ellen did anything wrong. I'm just saying someone like her has her show. You watch it all the time. They're starting to say, man, was she going to those parties? What was she doing at those parties? You start questioning all these random people. I could have pulled up any random person on this stream right now, any athlete, any other celebrity. I just used that so I didn't just gear toward athletes all the time. But at the end of the day, a lot of these people were having a good time. And I'm talking some of the best people, some of the biggest celebrities in the world were at these parties all the time. And now their names are getting announced everywhere. And obviously, Diddy being arrested right now, getting ready to step up in court. We're going to find out probably in the next hour or so what's going to go on with Diddy, unless they have another court case or they slow it down. But to move there, remember, I'm telling you this right now. He relocated to New York, moved to New York to deal with this. He didn't fly to New York for court to go home. He moved his personal items. He moved his entire lifestyle to New York to start dealing with this. Turned himself in. Obviously, that's a great start, but turned himself in and said, look, how do we move forward? How do we handle this? And right now, I got to tell you, as we move forward and we hear some of this stuff coming out, I think it's important to talk about it. I think people in our live stream like to talk about it. I think people don't want to talk about politics all the time, but I think people do want to know when they come into the building and they want to hear some conversation, like what's happening right now? Well, Diddy just got arrested yesterday. I'll bring it to your attention and we get some updated information. We'll drop it in here, let you know. But listen, pay attention to this today because there's going to be a lot happening. I don't know what's going to go on with P Diddy. I don't know who else is going to go down the tubes, but I will tell you this right now. After seeing that house be swarmed by all those people and looking at the picture, they didn't come to these houses like the way they came to these houses and blasted in there and taking everything. They didn't come to these houses just to walk out and say, hey, here's a misdemeanor. Like that I can tell you did not happen. They didn't show up at the house like this with this massive, look like Hummers and RV, like crazy amounts of SWAT team. They didn't show up based on a misdemeanor. They showed up because they're trying to handle business. And I don't know who else is involved, but I can promise you this. There's a lot of people involved, and we're going to find out. And I appreciate you guys joining us right now. The live stream has been censoring some of our stuff, hasn't been showing some of our stuff, and that's a massive problem. We're going to get that fixed. We're going to get that adjusted. I don't know why that's happening. I've been talking to YouTube, had a conversation today with YouTube, and they sent me an email and said, we escalated this to another department that's looking into this to say why on earth when we get on here and communicate that they're not showing our damn stream. Everyone to the Mason Mob right now, if you're in the Mason Mob, throw the dice in the chat right now. And if you're watching us right now, I appreciate you. Leave a message right now so I can mention your name, because I greatly appreciate you that are coming into the building, listening to some conversation we're having with sports and entertainment. Candy's in here, Brittany's in here, MJ's in here, Mile High's in here, Jeff Lee's in here, Nathan's in here, Annie, good morning to you. Everyone, Lisa came in the building, Stevie's girl's in the building, something going out to you today. Tyler came in the building. Everyone that's coming here this morning, I greatly appreciate you coming in for the live stream, because there's a lot happening. There's a lot happening, and we are going to find out as soon as they leave court today. We are going to see, and tomorrow, we're right back into the sports, baby. Tomorrow, we got Tua live here on the platform. We're talking Tua. We're talking everything that's going on with this situation with the Miami Dolphins. Should he continue playing football? We got that live on this platform tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Make sure you're here. Everyone in this building right now, make sure you guys are here tomorrow morning. I'm looking forward to talking to you guys tomorrow morning, because we have a lot to go over with the Miami Dolphins, what the future looks like, the quarterbacks are looking to bring in, and everything going on with Tua, the brain, the concussions, everything we got tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. His decision-making, is he going to keep playing or is he going to retire? So good talking to you guys today. A lot happened, obviously, with Diddy. We will see what happens after today's hearing. Will he get arrested for the long term? Will he do a long prison sentence? Will he throw some people on the bus? Will he get a plea bargain? What will happen? We will find out with the rapper P Diddy, the big-time mogul, musician, big-time artist. We will find out what happens to him probably today as they go through this case. I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Make sure you enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. I had a long night last night, so I'm back in the building early, but we're going to keep rocking and rolling. And for today, we're going to get through. Everyone be safe. Enjoy the rest of your day. And remember, tomorrow morning, be here at 9:55. Not 10 o'clock, 9:55. All you guys that show up at 9:55, I take a picture every day to see who's coming in the building. We got some awesome opportunities for you as I leave today and exit the platform. Thank you to everybody that's been joining us in the mornings. I just saw Jesse come in the building as well. Tyler coming in the building as well. Everyone that's coming in here, I appreciate you guys so damn much. And I will see you first thing tomorrow morning. Be here at 9:55. It's going to be a blast. We're talking sports tomorrow. Tua, Miami Dolphins. Is he going to retire? Is he leaving the game for good? See you guys tomorrow, 9:55. We're live at 10 a.m.
Just show kindness. Don't hate.
Well, their family bond does not end with each other. Between the two, they have 13 children and even more grandchildren. Family members traveled hundreds of miles for their big birthday, showing just how special family is to them.
Oh, my goodness.
That's so sweet.
Did you see the family behind them?
Yeah, you can learn a lot from what she said.
It's very true.
Yeah, there you go.
If only we could see more kindness in our world, we can go a long way. Next on Today in Florida, a South Florida man doesn't mind paying child support, but with his son turning 18, he says he could use that extra cash.
So do child support payments stop when your child comes of age? Help Me Howard with Patrick Frazier takes a look.
At La Mesa and Rec Van, get the right RV at the right price right now. This new Integra Odyssey SE is newly discounted to just